Yo guys, what's cracking? We are back with another episode of the 12 Days of Christmas Gaming Memories. Today's episode is kind of cool. I think it's probably something you would only expect to come out of Montana. Not to say that it could happen anywhere else, but um, when you think of this story, it's pretty typical that it would happen here. So I want to take you back to the 90s, mid 90s. I'd probably guess it was around 96 or 97. And my grandpa told all of us grandkids, we're going on a sleigh ride today. Fuck yeah. I mean, all my younger, my brother and my cousins were super young. So I'm assuming they thought, Santa was going to swoop up and we were going to go on a fucking sleigh ride. No, it wasn't like that. But we went about 30 miles down the highway or so. And like I'm pointing to the highway you guys can see over here. Yeah, you just can't fucking see anything. Highway's over there, believe me. So we went down the road a little bit to this rancher's house, and he had a setup where he had a horse-drawn, like, not a carriage or a sleigh, but it was I think it's pretty much what he used to transport hay in the wintertime, because it was like this 25-foot long, like, flatbed scenario with, I think it had skis, like metal skis in the bottom. And he just had hay piled around all around it, and we sat on the hay and had hot chocolate and stuff while he pulled us around the snow. It was a really kind of cool experience. It was fun. I think we did it one or two more times after that. I can't really remember, but in particular, I remember going on a sleigh ride, and I think it may have been Christmas Eve or a day or so before that, but it was cool, going on a sleigh ride. They weren't reindeer; they were horses, but it was still a cool thing. Once again, you comment below if you've ever gone on a sleigh ride before. I can't imagine a whole lot of people have ever been able to say they could do that. But this motherfucker did. I went on a sleigh ride, son, on Christmas. But we're 2 minutes in this video, and I haven't talked about a video game yet. Probably Clay, what the fuck? Where's the video games at? That's why we tuned in. Well, after the sleigh ride was over, we went inside the man's house, my whole family, and I think the adults were, just chatting and having coffee or whatever. But he opened this door for us kids, as creepy as that fucking sounds. It was like where Harry Potter lives in the first movie or whatever movies where I don't watch them very often, but he lives in that like closet underneath the stairs. This guy had that scene. He opened it up. Fucking TV and an NES or Super Nintendo with Donkey Kong Country. Fucking right. It was the coolest shit because one, I didn't have one, and two, I was just expecting to be on the sleigh ride and then have to sit around this fucking boring ass old person's house with nothing to do. This dude, homie, had a Super Nintendo, son. It was awesome. So Kyle and I were the oldest and we were playing games, but then I don't remember. If Sage was alive, then he had to have been alive. I don't remember Taylor and Sage being in there, but I do remember Michael being there, which would have made him maybe 3 or so. So Kyle and I were playing Donkey Kong, which was so cool because I'd heard about kids at school playing it. In fact, earlier in that day, the same day, my mom and I were talking, and she said, you can pick out your Christmas present early, or something to that effect. And I had some money saved up for my birthday, or there was some scenario where she said, you can get a Super Nintendo today when you get back from the sleigh ride. So exciting because I knew exactly what I was going to get. I was going to get the one with Donkey Kong Country. I was so excited for it. And I opened this door, and it was there. So I got almost like a little preview. So Kyle and I were playing, and then Michael started playing, and Michael was always a very well-behaved kid. Didn't complain about anything. Even when he got like super lame ass gifts, he didn't make that face. He was appreciative and ran off and gave somebody a hug. He was great about that. This is the only time I've ever seen him throw a little temper tantrum. When my Uncle Tony went to grab him, and we were about to leave, he wasn't having it. He wanted to play Donkey Kong. I always remember him kicking, and it wasn't like screaming, but he was definitely fighting. But I consoled him because I'm like, listen, my mom told me that we can get one of these today. As soon as we get back to town, we're gonna go and we're gonna get this exact game and we can play it later on. And that made him feel happier. Yeah, that didn't fucking happen. I don't know how or why, but when we got back, I talked to my mom. Plans changed. I don't remember the conversation. All I know is that we never got one, and still to this day, never got one out of the box. I had to get one in high school or something at a garage sale. That's how I got my Super Nintendo. Never had a Super Nintendo growing up. Damn it, Mom! You promised me. I always remember that promise. Anyway, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna talk shit to Mom. Um, Thought I was getting one, but that's what calmed Michael down. Anyway, the memory is special because we weren't expecting. We were just in this old man's house. It was like old ass people house, like country old people. You're not expecting to find a video game there. It was like the lottery when he opened that up, and it had, those like those. I don't know how old you guys watching are, but like the AV room, like in grade school, and they had the TVs that would move around the carts. But it was like a TV on a cart, and it had the Nintendo hooked up, and we sat there, on the ground, playing on that thing for what seemed like 5 minutes. It was probably about a half hour or 45 minutes or so, till we had to leave. But we got to play Donkey Kong Country after being on a sleigh ride, which is a cool memory. So, like I said, comment below if you've ever been on a sleigh ride, because I've never heard another person talking about ever being on one. So, hope you enjoyed the story. Merry Christmas, guys, and I'll talk to you later.